Hi, Remy.
Regular regular Ben and regular Remy are joining. I'm wondering if Chaim got the information about the call. I don't think he's in the Zoom call group. Yeah, it's not. So I would like to copy the info to him and I'll be present. It's just is that okay for you, Ben? All right. Ben, is the do you have any news or distractions?
No, I don't want to do anything distraction.
Okay, so you're fully here.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that's the purpose of news and distraction is to check if you're fully here.
I'm not sure if I'm going to get fully here by saying things into the void without any kind of response.
You're not sure if you're going to be fully heard if you what? If you say what?
I'm not sure if I'm going to get fully here by saying things into the void with no response.
Well, that's the point. Either you're fully here, either you're not. And if you're not, my invitation is to name what's in the way of you being fully here.
I'm not sure there's anything in the way of me being fully here. I think saying I'm fully here is a lot to say. My attention is sort of like, it's partly on you, it's partly on my body, it's partly on my phone, it's partly on my thoughts. There's asking me to be completely 100% attentive to the call is a ridiculous ask.
Okay, so you're labeling my request as ridiculous. I guess some of your needs are not met. Would you like to name them?
Um, well, I don't like the structure of news and distractions. I don't find it helpful.
What else is happening is that you're resisting connecting with me.
Mm.
You're resisting hearing me.
Mm.
Do you have the same impression?
No,
What?
no.
Okay. So um, maybe you have a need for clarity and understanding that is not met by my words. Is that true?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Are you open that I try to precise what I meant?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Um, I guess maybe what led to some kind of misunderstanding is I don't believe in some kind of absolute being fully here. I'm clear that we are doing what we're doing is work in progress. I'm not, so, for example, if you know that, if, for example, if you're receiving a text message from work
Mm.
um, at any moment in time, which is possible that you will do, I like to know if that's the case.
Yeah.
This way, it gives me information that is relevant to the work I want to do, which is to be here and working with you.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
So what I'm hearing is that you want to know if I get a text from work that I attend to, so that you have the information to know how to work here.
I think I'd like to be informed if you are fully here, like no distractions, or if you might at any moment in time receive some distractions from work, for example, that you might give full attention when you receive it.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a few people in a meeting at work at the moment, and I might get called into that meeting at any moment, so there's a possibility I might have to leave.
Okay, for me, that's news that's relevant and important to include and make explicit in the space to work the way I'd like to work here today.
Yeah, and also I might get a text message from work that I'll need to read and maybe need to respond to.
Okay, so you there's a meeting going on, and you might have some info, text from the people in the meeting, and you which you would need to respond, and also from I guess another division of the work, you might also receive some text message and need to respond to them. Did I
Yeah,
get it?
from the same people, but I don't know what they're going to be doing. You know, they might end the call and then one of them might message me and say, "Hey, can we have a look at this feature, or can we have a look at this or that?" And I'll need to go and look at it with them.
Okay. Hmm. So do you still don't like the structure of news and distraction, and do you think that my request was stupid still, or is there some
No, now that I know what you're clear about, I don't mind. I don't mind saying that.
okay. So that's just the word news and distraction that were kind of loaded for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I invite your creativity into finding a new way of saying it that would include what I meant?
Um,
If you have energy for that. I mean, I'm inviting you, but if you have energy somewhere else, I'd like to know where your energy goes. If you want to name it, you also have the right to stay silent then and call you your lawyer. I guess I really want to stress to that my invitation I would just request.
okay. Yeah, I was finding them a little bit taxing until you said that, actually, if I'm completely honest.
Mm-hmm. No, I believe you. I believe you. I guess I think lots of us are probably very sensitive when we hear requests from people. And especially we have some history. So for whatever reasons, maybe you know, anyway, I believe you. Don't need to go into analyzing it more. Glad you feel some relief, some less stress. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I'm going to check my phone now to see if there's anything happening at work. No, there isn't.
Thanks for letting me know. I really loved how smooth it felt.
Yeah.
I love that. I hope it was smooth for you too.
Yeah, it's fine when I've got the floor, but when you're talking, it poses another problem.
So maybe we can come to an agreement, which is if I'm talking, maybe if I give you permission to interrupt me, to let me know.
That sounds a little bit taxing. It'd be just as easy to quickly look at my phone and see that there isn't anything there.
Well, I'd rather pause and know that I'm not listened to anymore, especially if there's only two of us on the call.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll just interrupt you and tell you, Remy, just a second. I need to check my phone.
I appreciate that. You have my agreement to do that.
Okay.
You know that I'm thinking of Marshall Rosenberg, that said something like he doesn't want people to listen, and he invited us to not to listen to anyone more a second longer than we wanted to.
Yeah.
And because my understanding of what he meant is that when we do that, when we listen one more seconds that we want to, we start to build resentment.
Mm.
And resentment kills the possibility of empathy and presence.
Yeah.
And so even if it's unknown, everybody pays for that.
Yeah.
So I'd prefer being interpreted and be informed. Even if might feel frustrated, at least I'm aware that I'm on my own dealing with my frustration. And I prefer that I'm thinking I'm received when I'm sharing something sensitive and found out later that the other one wasn't here.
I'd like to bring something up that I'd like your help with.
I'm open to hear. Well, at least I'd like to hear what it is about, and then decide what we want to do next, if that's okay for you.
Okay, well, Chaim sent a voice note this morning, and in his voice note, he said he wanted me to be more critical of myself. He wanted me to say more criticism about myself. And that seems like an extremely questionable idea to me. I'd like to know what you make of it.
Can I tell you is that what I heard and what I'd like to say in merging my intention for this call?
Oh, okay, yeah. What, are you going to drop what I said?
No, not at all. I want to include what you said into my intention for the call.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. So my just a little side note before going back to you, if that's okay. And please interrupt me if I do anything at any time that I'm losing you at some point. Please interrupt me. I once again, if whatever reasons. Can I continue on that?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So my intention is to create a space to explore what we want to give and what we want to receive. So if I hear that, I use that with what you said. I heard that you shared your experience with receiving the audio notes from Chaim, and you would like to receive my output on it, my experience. Did I get you?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to give you my input on it, and I'm appreciating knowing how it was for you. I heard that you find the words. I guess I'm going backwards a bit and trying to reflect you, if that's okay. I'd like to give you my reflecting. Is that okay to receive that for you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I heard that you listened to the audio notes, and you heard the words from Chaim that he wants you to be more critical about yourself.
Yeah.
And you find that idea very questionable.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's my take about it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did I get you?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to give you my take on it. Well, there's a few things. There's, first of all, I'm a bit cautious about this call, and part of me wants to make sure this call is not about Chaim. So I have some negative prediction. They might go there. So that's part of my take on being where I am right now, hearing your request, and I want to give that honesty. And second, specifically on your request, what I want to give is that if I hear the words that Chaim said, there's a lot of things that I find questionable, including what you said. But I heard him say that he wants us to be harder on ourselves, to be able to be more gentle with others. I find it super highly questionable. Yeah, does it give you what you wanted to receive?
What I really was hoping was that you do something creative and magnificent, like sort of like guess Himes' needs, or sort of get where he's really coming from, or like turn it around and present it in a different way of looking at it that completely made sense.
Okay, so it seems that you're getting clear on what you want from that exchange we're just having.
Yeah.
And so you would like to receive some kind of creativity that would help you connect with the needs that Chaim may be experiencing. Did I get you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to pause a second and to check what I'm willing to give, and integrating what you just asked and my intention for this call. I'm willing to explore a bit more what I heard from Chaim. So, do you want me to do that now?
I've got a message on Teams and I'm just going to check it.
Okay.
I need to go.
Okay. Do you have an idea of how long time or no?
I'm not sure how long it will be at the moment. It just says ping when free, so he could have a quick 1 second question, or he could want me to go into a half-an-hour meeting. I'm not sure.
Do you want me to say what I wanted to share with you, or and record it, and you can watch it later, or do you want me to wait when you come back?
Yeah, I'll watch it later. Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, I'll read something.
Yeah, read something instead. Yeah, I'll wait until I come back.
Okay. So, guys, if you're watching this, welcome to this very moment where I might read something from a book called Problems Are the Doors Through Which We Walk to Peace. This is a book from Stephen R. Schwartz. So, I want to take a second just to think of my intention for this call, offering a space for exploring what we want to give, what we want to receive. And right now I'm noticing that I want to give a reading of a paragraph or two of this book I just mentioned. I also want to give my presence and some kind of my creativity, as Ben said, around what I heard Chaim say, and some of my kind of possible guessing about what needs he might be expressing through the audio notes he shared in the group this morning, the group space for dialogue on WhatsApp. Right now, I want to give myself time and silence to feel, to make space for what I have energy for right here, right now, in this moment. Yeah, I want to check what I have energy for, and so I'm going to listen through a moment of silence. Energy for reading Shifani's message. I saw that she sent something in space for that. She said, tiring times, resting, recuperating, no energy to attend to the school, much love. Okay, I have another message I want to check. Oh, it's from a friend. I'm gonna mute and listen to it. No, I'm gonna pause the recording and listen to it. Hi, Celeste. Welcome. Oh, the audio is not yet connected. Hi, Celeste. Did you wait long?
What?
Were you waiting long time in the waiting room?
A little while. It's no big deal.
Okay. Okay, so Ben went for a work call, and I was on my own, and I paused the recording and responded to a friend about a question I find very, very interesting.
What's the interesting question?
Oh, well, I told her that I was loving a phrase from a page of the book that I read today and shared with some friends, including this woman. And basically, there's, maybe I can pick up the page and read it to you, or summarize it. It's interesting, Celeste, because I noticed that I so want to please you that I can also sometimes cut myself from what I feel and want, and I'm just catching myself doing that.
Well, I'm already pleased, just letting you know, with who I'm already.
You were already pleased, and then
Yeah.
you broke up, you cut off. You're already pleased.
Okay, I'm already pleased with whoever you actually are. So I'm already pleased, just letting you know, with your real self. So I mean, I guess from my point of view, no effort is required, but I just wondered, because you said you were interested in the question, I wondered what the question was, because maybe I would be interested.
Okay.
Since you're my Marshall Rosenberg.
Okay. It is so dense. I'm wondering what, you know. So the question for me is really like, if I go, I guess I'm going to go straight to the sentence. It says, then comes the most difficult action, which was to do nothing that would block the journey to continue.
That would block the what?
The journey.
Journey.
To continue. That's the sentence. And she wanted to know how I understand that sentence.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I felt something happen within me when you said that sentence. About not blocking the journey. I felt this like flow, like a river. A lot of times I think about how much better, what does Rumi or something say? Stop something and see how the picture improves, or stop rowing and see how the path improves, or something about stop like working to control how things are happening and see how the world improves. And I find that sometimes if I don't go to a meeting or if I don't intervene, things actually go better than if I had tried to do something about it, That's what it means to me. Like maybe you and Ben working with each other, just the two of you, actually gives us a better result than if I try to go back and forth and mediate and say, could you reflect each other or whatever, You
can I say what I understood?
Yeah.
What this sentence evokes in you is the Rumi, and this idea that sometimes allowing a picture, a painting, an impression of an experience, and allowing it to take forms by itself sometimes works better than trying to quote unquote fix it or change it or improve it.
Yes, and that's what your sentence, yes, the sentence says to not have any barriers to the journey, not put barriers up to the journey. And so, I mean, my take on it's a little bit different because it's like I'm backing out of things that involve other people so they can kind of do it on their own. But I don't want to block my own journey either. But I don't know where the journey goes. So I have to really get out of the way to see where the path is going to go.
I got distracted at the beginning of your last sentence.
I have to really get out of the way to see where the path is actually going to go instead of trying to control it. I mean, I think that's the message.
Yeah, I think my understanding is sometimes not doing anything that prevents the journey from continuing is taking action. But sometimes
tell me more about that. Yeah.
So it's like, for me, my understanding is really around subtle nuances and really listening to what kind of journey we want to allow. And what is what we're about to do possibly preventing the journey we want to allow to happen? Or is it possible that it might be supporting it to happen? So that there's some kind of a discerning work going on there around that.
Yeah, so every time you're deciding, do I put my foot this way or do I put my foot going this way? Where am I placing my foot to go? Where do I want to go?
Yeah, and sometimes just not moving at all my feet and just feeling it or just thinking of my hand. For me, it joins the idea of what do I have energy for? Where does it go?
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ben. Welcome back.
Thanks. Hi, Celeste.
Ben.
Hi.
Did you take care of what you wanted to take care of, Ben?
Yeah, it was a little requirement reconfiguration on a project I'm working on.
Is it done?
The requirements are now clarified.
Okay. So you're back into the same place where you might receive more messages from work and your attention might go there, but for now you're here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so Remy, do you want to talk more about the barriers to the journey idea?
What I have energy for right now is to say a bit more about my intention for this call. And I guess, yes. So do you guys have space to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. For some reasons, at some point today, I knew I was going to have this call with hosting it, and I didn't know. I was hoping Ben would come, and I was hoping you would come, Celeste, too. I'm glad you're both here. Um, but yeah, I thought of what is it I wanted to do. Was there a topic that I wanted to bring? But at some point, I don't remember exactly which moment and how it took form, but I felt a kind of urge of enthusiasm about the idea of offering, not only here in that space. I wasn't even thinking of that space yet when I thought about it. I was thinking of what I want to offer in the world. You know, what I want to do with people, what I want to talk about, how I want to engage. And this idea was something that maybe you heard about, which is called giving circle or something like that, or circle of gift. So the idea is people gather and we go around the circle and people say what they want to give and what they want to receive. And it could be materialistic thing. It could be a massage. It could be money. It could be a car. It could be a housing in the house, either giving and receiving. It could be, I don't know, a therapy session, an empathy session, whatever. You know, it might be just wanting to give company, of going to jog in the forest, whatever. And I've been inspired by a guy who got cancer and found out in his research that what was causing cancer for him was a sense of the lifestyle he was having. And I'm not going to go into details about what I understand about his experience, but basically at one point he decided that he wanted to live, to experience, to get out of this kind of exchange thing that we see a lot in the world, like, you know, I'm giving you this if you give me that. And that was causing a lot of stress. And I started to explore how he could go towards the gift economy, living in a gift economy. So he managed to do that, and for some years, and it took some time for him, but he managed to live only on that, you know, just without money, having housing, food, whatever, all he needed out of giving, and him giving and him receiving. That's the idea. And I realized today, I was a rush of enthusiasm. I want to touch more in my life this space where I'm freely giving without expecting anything back in return. And also, I would like to experience more receiving freely. And I have two examples right now. I'm you know, the love that I've received from you, Celeste, for example. This is something that I received fully, and it feels very good. I received that from my mom recently. She was going to come for my anniversary, and I told her about something I thought of doing, and she said, "Oh, I choose not to come. I really want you to have space to decide to go. I don't feel like I would fit there, so I prefer to, you know, come back another time. And how is that for you?" So it was so good to receive that from her. I felt like very moved, almost like crying, saying it. So there's something around really receiving the free gift, the free love. And also I found that I have an example of giving. I was once at a conference with, maybe you know this guy, what's his name? Charles Eisenstein. He came to Totnes, where I was living in UK some years ago. And there was 250 people. He was talking about the gift economy and our history, about all that, where we come from. And at the okay, I'm giving this speech, and I would like to invite you to consider at a wedding of friends, and to choose if you want to give a gift to your friends. You can give zero, that's okay. But if you want to give some money, I invite you to check what would be the highest number of money you would have joy giving. Are you okay, Ben? Maybe he left.
Yeah, I just went to get my phone because I realized I didn't have it, and I thought because Celeste was here, you wouldn't want me to interrupt.
Yeah, well, I think I still prefer you to interrupt, Ben, if that's okay. Celeste, Ben and I had an agreement that I prefer him to let me know whenever his attention shifts to something else. So that's valid for you. I invite you to let me know as well if you need to, to shift to something else, even if I'm talking. I'd rather know.
So you were saying that you were involved in this workshop where the guy was talking about what for you to decide the largest amount of money that you could give to a friend.
It was inviting us to imagine we were at a wedding of friends, and to just picture, if you want to give a gift to your friends while getting married, you would check what is it you have joy giving. And so he was comparing the situation with the same thing, knowing, to live, and he needs money as well to pay his bills, his travel from America and to UK, etc. And so it was just sharing that we were invited to consider what would be the highest number of money we would have joy giving to him, and that zero was okay if it was a zero for us. But just you're going, Ben? What did you say?
Okay,
I don't know.
I just went to get my drink.
Okay. So I'm just saying that for the example of the fact that I chose within myself what is it I wanted to give, and I chose to withdraw 20 pounds from the cashier on the other side of the street. And I remember that when I put those 20 pounds in the basket, I had a super high level of enthusiasm and joy. It felt like that was the most pleasurable experience I ever had in my entire life, to give money to someone. It was like, wow, what a gift. I'd never had such an orgasm giving. It was so clear. The context was so clear. I really loved it. So that's what I want to have more of. And so that's why I'm excited about the idea of creating spaces where we can explore what we want to give and what we want to receive. And we might find some matches between each other. We might not, but the point is not necessarily to find match. The point is to be authentic and to really say out loud in the world, in the universe, where we are in terms of what we want to give and what we want to receive. Whether it is very specific, whether it's vague, whatever, we can work it out and clarify if clarification is needed.
I'm just going to
Sorry for listening
from the other room.
Okay.
Well, so what I heard you say, Remy, was that you really want to explore more this gift economy of people offering gifts that they wish to give, and at the same time, asking for gifts that they might like to receive. And if there's a match, fine. And if there's not a match, fine. And you were also describing a time when you ended up giving money and feeling just so happy about it. And I can really join with that, because that's what my life is like a lot. Mm-hmm. Feeling happy about being able to support others with money or material gifts.
Mm-hmm. I've seen you enjoying that, Celeste. I really seen you doing, and I felt your joy doing that, and it's been inspiring.
And the other thing about that in particular is, for me, giving makes the earning worthwhile. So I didn't necessarily love, like the young child with the hungry duckling, I might not have loved processing that spreadsheet, but when I'm able to use the money I earned to give like that freely, to buy my grandkids Pokemon cards, for example, it makes my life worthwhile. It makes my work worthwhile. It makes my work nothing but pure love, because I'm able to then give, from my heart with what I've earned. So it's somehow, I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe there's no need to explain it.
If people aren't willing to receive what I give, like in money, then I feel like my life is meaningless and not worthwhile. So why am I working? Why would I go to work if people aren't even willing to receive the gifts that come from it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's such a joy in being received in our giving. Our giving being received is just such a gift. That's when Marshall said that at one point there is no difference between the giver and the receiver. Or it's questionable. Is there a difference?
I feel more power when I'm in the giving role. I feel less power in the receiving role.
Well, that's also my point. I think practicing our ability to receive is also something that is important, because when we give ourselves permission to receive, we are making a greater gift to the world, who can give us.
I noticed that on Monday night, after I put on the ecstatic dance, 2 people gave me $20 bills. They just put them in my hand and I took them.
Mm-hmm. There's something, as you're talking about receiving those notes, that's also something I share that I noticed you didn't reflect, and that's okay. But I talked about me receiving the love from you, and I didn't mention the money, but I also received money from you, and I received the love from my mom, and I received a message from my mom where she really explicitly expressed that she wanted me to have space for me.
Honestly, when you were able to receive the love that I feel inside myself, it's very rewarding, almost like a circulation instead of a stopping. So like if I'm giving love, and there's no receiving of it, my love is stopped somehow, you know? If somebody can receive my love, then there's like a flow and the love can keep going. I don't know how to explain it, but I find it very rewarding. And I spent a lot of my life when I was younger trying to send love to people, and I felt like they couldn't get it or receive it or accept it. But now things are better. And thank you for doing that, because it really makes my life worthwhile.
Thank you for doing what?
Receiving the love.
Mm. Yeah, you know, I have an example of you giving love, which was when out of a conversation, through a conversation Ben and I were having, you were just picturing us as, you know, little kids, and you shared a picture of your grandkids when they were sitting on your lap, and you were saying, that's Remy and Ben, you know, where you are sitting on my lap, and it was so sweet. To me, I received it like that. I don't know about Ben, but I had a sense that Ben felt some love, some care as well.
I don't know. I have some experiences with Ben where he sort of resents being the analogy of being cast as a child.
Mm.
And
Yeah. I'd say resent is a strong word to describe that, but certainly some mild grumbles about that. I want to say something else. Like, I've been holding something this entire time, and I want to bring it to light.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to give you my listening.
Okay.
Yes? Is that okay for you too?
yeah.
Before I left, I said to Remy that I listened to Kaim's message this morning and I found some of it questionable. And he agreed and said he found some of it questionable too.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to explore his response to the message. And then I had to leave, and then Celeste came on and you two got talking, and I still want to hear what Remy was going to say.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for bringing that up back, Ben. Thank you. I'm still willing to give some time of exploring that topic, if that's okay with Celeste as well, to do that now.
Yes.
I'm also aware of, I just want to check, and I think I would be a bit disappointed if we don't manage to have at least 10 minutes within the call to really kind of going around the circle to express what we would like to give and what we would like to receive. But still, that's a dream of mine, and it's not a demand, but that's a strong wish of mine. And before I respond to you, Ben, would you guys be willing to tell me if you're okay to try that at least 10 minutes of this going around the circle, around giving and receiving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Whew, I'm freed to respond to you, Ben. Freer. I was already free, but I'm freer. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to express my creativity on the topic, but let's see.
Yeah, I told Remy that I wanted him to come up with something really creative and insightful, something magnificent that sort of transformed Chaim's words into pure like nectar that I can just drink, that I can just receive.
So I'm challenged.
Wow, that is a big ask. So you're supposed to use alchemy on Chaim's words to transform them into a nectar that Ben can drink.
Yes, and have an orgasm, a cosmic orgasm with it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you had it putting money into a basket, so I think it's possible.
What? What did you say about money?
You had that feeling putting money into a basket, so maybe it's possible.
Yeah, I had a feeling putting money in a basket. Maybe that's possible. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Huh. Hmm. One thing I heard from Chaim is that he's been going through Rosh Hashanah as a period of in deep meditation, reading, studying. And I think what is saying is that the demanding energy, the focus, the commitment, the energy is investing into those kind of activities. He gets a lot out of that. And I think what he wants to give us is a sense of the love and the divine that he's receiving out of it. I think he wants to invite us into something like that. I think I hear also some kind of maybe that's a mind read, but I'm just a supposition that maybe there's also some kind of fatigue on his part,
Yeah.
and wanting some kind of support and solidarity into finding some kind of alliance and belonging and meaning all together. And I think maybe he's also mourning all the time and the energy invested in spending time with you, Ben, with us. And I think he mentioned Celeste not being as available as he'd like to be. It's like her to be. And so I'm also hearing some kind of frustration and loneliness there. And yeah, I think seems the word fatigue resonated with you, Ben.
Yeah, I can really see Klein feeling that. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I'm guessing that. I'm wondering if there's also some kind of the fatigue probably around being around wanting more ease in how we function together, and especially you, Ben, and him, that would kind of be feeling more smooth and more easily nourishing and connecting and allowing a sense of shared love. I also hear the word belonging bumping into my head, but it's probably my projection. I don't know. I think I also hear some anger. And so there's kind of also an energy of fighting and wanting to kind of beat up things, to kind of transform them and change them to go get a better outcome, something more satisfying. But my sense is that it's a little bit out of some kind of a place of desperation and really not having clarity around where to beat what and where to go. And so there's a lot of, yeah. So I don't know. I'd like some feedback from you, Ben, around your request, what you wanted to receive. Do you want more?
I guess I want to understand what would be gained from me criticizing myself more.
I think what is meant is more something I said around the demanding energy to study.
Yeah.
And to, I guess there's something like being joined into going deep into questioning what really makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's real, what's true, what's not true. I think that I hear a really strong invitation of, being joined by a brother to go into the depth of the dark and maybe the highs of the light, but that it takes strength and trust and dedication and commitment
and intelligence.
And intelligence. Yeah, I agree. That too. How is that for you, Ben?
So is what you're saying that no, I'm not getting it. I'm not seeing how that's related to what I said about Chaim wanting me to criticize me more. You said that's related to the demanding energy about studying, and then you said that Chaim might have like a sort of like commitment to going into the depth and the highest light, and that takes strength and resilience and all these qualities. But I don't understand what that's got to do with me criticizing myself more.
Okay, Ben, is what you're saying that you really don't understand why Chaim would want you to criticize yourself more?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what I'm hearing is that I don't hear him saying he wants you to criticize more. What I'm hearing is that he wants you to join him into studying more deeply. I may be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, me, I can really see somebody wanting somebody else to criticize themselves more. But maybe this is not the right time to talk about that.
What would you say it again?
I get it. I live that. I understand why person A might want person B to criticize themselves more. I understand that fully.
Maybe you have what Ben wants to receive. So if you want to give it, why not?
I'm wondering, Ben, do you want me to talk about what I've learned about this?
Well, I'm a little bit apprehensive because I think your experience of wanting people to criticize people more might be very different from Chaim's experience of wanting me to criticize myself more.
It might.
So it seems like sort of like chasing a red herring. Seems like going up the garden path a little bit because.
So would you rather I talk about why I think I might want you to criticize yourself more?
Yeah, that would be more to the point.
Well, I'm willing.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
So if you don't see the flaw and investigate the flaw, you can't repair the flaw. Let's say you have a wound, you're hit by an arrow, and the doctor comes, or maybe you don't have a doctor and you're looking at your own wound, trying to treat it. You have to recognize that you have a wound and what the nature of the wound is, that there's something wrong with you, before you could possibly decide on the best treatment to improve your life. And I think that is what Chaim is wanting for you, is a better life, to make you stronger and more resilient and smarter and improve your flaws. Who wouldn't want that?
Once again, you hearing the love, Celeste.
Okay, but that's just what I naturally hear.
Yeah, and I'm impressed to see it in action again.
The thing is that if you don't recognize your own weaknesses and fix them yourself, the enemy, whether it's gravity or the other army or whatever the threat is, whether it's the ocean or the hurricane, if you don't protect yourself by battening up your windows, you could be vulnerable. And so somebody who's asking you to look critically at your house, hey, what do I need to do to protect my house from a hurricane? Oh, these windows need to be covered. Oh, this door needs to be nailed down. That person is trying to help you protect your house.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Does it make sense to you too, Ben?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're open to try my experiment. Are you?
Yeah.
Celeste?
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical that Ben is ready, but he said he is, so.
I guess, and what I'm offering, there's probably space to acknowledge what is still alive right now, and the idea is, my invitation is to kind of frame it into acknowledging what we want to receive, and it could be more of what I was already being received or what we want to give. So the idea is to explore that for 10 minutes, and I suggest to start a timer of 10 minutes and we go into that. Would it work for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a little conflicted because, with you being in France and you being in the UK, there are, certain things that I could not possibly receive from you. I guess, or would be difficult. So I don't know whether I should filter what I'm saying I want to give and receive. Should I only state things that might be possible with our distant relationship? Or should I state just really what's alive for me?
Yeah, I would like to hear what's alive in you.
Okay, got it.
If you want a hug from us, for example, you're welcome to say it. I would love to receive a hug from you, Celeste.
You would love to receive what?
A hug.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's start. So before I set the timer, I suggest maybe we need someone to start and maybe go around the circle and to keep one order. So on my window, I have Ben, me, and Celeste. Is that okay for you to start like this? So Ben, you speak whatever you want to say about what you'd like to receive, what you'd like to give, and then I go, and then Celeste. Is that okay for you guys? Ben?
That seems to put a lot of pressure on me to come up with a lot of things that I want to give or receive.
Well, so if you're not ready, you can say I pass.
Oh, okay.
Does it work? Does it work?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go. You go, Ben.
I pass.
Okay. So one thing I'd like to give. Yeah, I'd like to give you both a hug. So I'd like to give hugs, not necessarily to you, but specifically to. I mean, I don't know if I would. Yeah, I would love to give Ben the chance to hug me, like giving you. Oh my gosh, I'm getting confused. So it's not an easy play. So let's. Okay. It's okay to change my mind. So I want to give us the opportunity to say things and then change our mind a second after that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I want to give that thought that it's not about saying perfectly the thing we want or the thing we don't want. It's just about playing and making space for it. So I want to give that space to play about give circle. I want to give more people the chance to play with that, to express what they want to give and receive. Your turn, Celeste.
I bought a side of beef. It's in a freezer in my garage. There's a ton of beef. We're not eating it up that fast. I would like to give beef. There's ground beef, there's steaks, there's briskets, there's all kinds of different cuts of beef, a whole side of beef almost. And I would really like to give some of this beef. Before we lose electricity and it all goes bad in the freezer.
you done?
Is it my turn?
I'm trying to think what I would like to receive. What I would like to receive is like assistance, like an assistant, whether it's going to do anything that is in my agenda, whether it's mop my kitchen floor or put away my laundry, or I'd like somebody to talk to me while I'm driving to Fayetteville tonight. I'd also like help organizing my NVC workshop, which is a week from Saturday. I really need to work on that. Things like that.
We can talk about your NVC thing and talking about your driving.
Oh, I also want a shade of makeup that is correct for my face, not too light and not too dark, which I do not currently have.
A shade of what?
Makeup, foundation. It's for my chorus performance. I didn't have the right shade.
You done?
I'm done.
Thanks, Alice. Your turn, Ben.
Okay. I'd like to receive some insight into what's going on from Kyan for Kyan. And I'd like to give, what I'd like to give is I'd like to help Celeste with her MVC workshop. I'd like to create a WhatsApp group to explore it and create a Google document if she wants to do that, and come up with ideas and, you know, whatever she wants to do.
I'd love that. I accept that, Ben.
Are you done, Ben?
Yeah.
Okay. I suggest maybe next time when we're done, just pass it to the next person in the circle.
Okay.
So my turn. I also want to give some of my curiosity to Celeste around what's going on for her around preparing this NVC workshop, and to see what emerges, hearing. So I'd like to give my listening about what's going on for her and share what comes up if she wants to. And I like Ben's idea of WhatsApp group, and I think I can give my curiosity and availability to check how it goes and how it helps. What else do I want to give or receive? I think what I want to receive is more. I'm not exactly sure in which term it would come, but I don't need to. But I love more support to remember more often, to chill, to love myself, to trust that what I want, my dreams are possible. And especially, I've been thinking of a question today, which is the idea of having an inspiring life. And I'd like some support, either within myself or from the outside, to engage with that questioning of what an inspiring or more, what would be more inspiring or more inspiring for me to experience or to say yes in my life. So I'd like to receive some trust that I can engage with that question and find inspiring answers. I pass the stick to you, Sarastana.
It's hard for me to imagine you having a more inspiring life than you already do. It's like, it would be like Einstein saying, I want to be smarter in physics or something, but okay.
I take that as a gift. Thank you.
Only because I'm personally very inspired and integrated things from you into my life, like right here, right now, make space for. I would like to receive someone to manage my compost. so that I could be more environmentally responsible. I'm having trouble managing my compost. Like, I guess in my dream, I would put the compost out on the curb and somebody would come pick it up and add to their pile, or maybe they would just add to the compost pile that's in my yard and they could take the dirt later or whatever. That's one thing I'm thinking about. I would also like to receive like a arborist advice on my trees that I bought and planted and how they're doing and how much I should water them. Some expertise on native bur oak trees that I planted. That's enough for what I want to receive. What do I want to give? Still want to give beef away out of my freezer. $2,000 worth of beef that I bought.
Mm.
I'm done.
Your turn, man.
What I'd like to give is I'd like to offer to the group something that I came across, which is the fact that if you pour Coca-Cola on raw pork, little parasites come out to the surface. I'm done.
Thanks. And 45 second left. I want to give a few seconds of silence. I want to give my hope that of doing that more often. I hope to get more time and company to do that more. Your turn, Celeste.
Time's up.
Yeah, you can finish up your sentence if you want.
I feel like I wish I could think of something I wanted to give besides the beef in my freezer. I'd like to give somebody a ride to Fayetteville tonight. I would like that.
Do you guys want to add something to the circle, or do you want to shift to something else, like maybe debriefing about how it was, or speaking about something else as well? Possibly.
I'd like to go to debrief.
Okay.
Ben?
Yeah, it's okay.
So, I'm curious how it was for you. We can do learning surprises.
Well, I feel a little inadequate because other people were offering things like, empathy or, and all I got is beef in my freezer that I want to get rid of.
I felt very satisfied you talking about very concrete things like the beef.
Yeah, my things are more logistical and maybe practical, and other people's things were more esoteric. I noticed that.
Yeah, I'm satisfied that Celeste has brought this NBC thing to my attention. That sounds like a project that I can really get my teeth into.
Me too. I'm satisfied with that too. Especially, I remember the joy I found helping someone in Africa to set up an NVC workshop for teachers. I was I loved it. So I felt satisfied with the idea of doing more of what I loved.
He doesn't talk about him much, Celeste, but Remy's got some creds.
Somewhat?
Creds.
What is it?
Credentials.
What does it mean, credentials?
You don't know what credentials means?
No.
Celeste, what does credential mean?
It means like that you have qualifications, like maybe even for like a job or for a task, like you have accomplishments in your past that are measurable, certificates or training completions or experiences, you know, like doing the thing in Africa, working on the thing in Africa.
Hmm. Is that what you meant, Ben?
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with your company, guys, and your willingness to go along with my idea. It is really something that has been very, I'm not sure how to express it, but I've been looking for the right moment to offer that to the world, and I've been searching and looking for support and colleagues. So it's some kind of a dream come true doing it with you.
Well, I feel like it's sort of because I kept on saying it sort of highlights the fact that I need to figure out where I can give the beef. I only have one person so far that I've been giving the beef to, but I need to think of other options.
Why don't you take an advert out on Craigslist that says free beef?
Yeah.
Well, we can talk later about why that doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Well, you don't want strangers come to your house.
It's not me. I'm not living alone.
Yeah.
I'm not always home. I don't like making arrangements. It's very cumbersome making arrangements for people to visit at a certain time, and then they cancel and they're late, and I have to go somewhere. My husband doesn't want to deal with them, and it's very difficult to make an appointment like that. It's frozen, so it's not like something you can just put out. Plus, my husband does anyway. Blah blah blah.
I found that quite interesting. We're talking about that because that kind of highlights how sometimes the structure, the system within which we are living, or maybe sometimes it's the system of believing, the system of thinking, makes it difficult to give and receiving, which is, I think, is a very natural thing to happen. And so I'm excited that we are seeing concretely that there's examples of things that blocks or limits the possibility of that free flowing to happen. And the idea of practicing more that to find out more how we can adapt and change things towards more of what we want, I felt excited about and hopeful about it. We have 3 minutes left on this call. I'm wondering if there's anything you might be feeling disappointed if you don't name it before we end.
Well, I don't get very much out of naming things. I get much more out of saying things and then getting feedback from others. Like, most of the reason that I say something is to get a response from somebody else, not to just speak my own voice. I feel perfectly confident of speaking my own voice. Without actually voicing it, I feel confident just having my own voice without speaking it.
I missed the last bit.
I feel confident having my own voice without speaking it.
You feel confident having your own voice without speaking it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand what it means.
I guess what he's saying is that most of the time when he talks, it's just to see what other people's response is, not to get his, you know, not to get his voice heard, but to see what other people think about it, to get input rather than the output aspect.
Mhm. Well, maybe then what I'd like to say before we end is that there's also an invitation to patience. It's like, if you want to plant some tomatoes, you may be confident that you can plant tomatoes, but if you think that tomatoes are going to grow up in a day, it's not true. It takes longer than that.
What's the tomatoes in this example?
We planted seeds about things we want to give and receive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that about the beef. Like it's just something that's like, well, I had one idea about what to do with it that hasn't really happened yet, but maybe there's a better idea.
Can't you take it to church, Celeste?
Well, I could, but I get there early and I'm in choir practice and it's frozen. So I would have to then also have some kind of cooler with maybe dry ice. What I would like is to be able to just, I just had a good idea. When I go someplace to see someone, or I would like to drop it on their porch to where there's not a time lag where it's going to thaw out. The timing of things being frozen is definitely an issue. That's why I can't take it to chorus, or I can't take it to choir practice or whatever, without a whole bunch of cumbersome stuff like coolers and dry ice and shit like that.
We crossed our time boundary.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Remy.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.